saw the computer and I was like, how do people use this? Like, for me, it looked magic somehow. So I was like, what does it take maybe to be a computer person?
Welcome to another episode of Her in a Million. Here we are to create a space, actually bring a seat to the table for all young women out there who are hesitant about the tech space. But guess what? We've brought some of the best inspiration, some of the best women in the game to come and tell you their story, because they say that experience is the best teacher. So why not get some of the best lived experiences to come and inspire us? And of course, make sure that every young lady knows that there is a seat at the table for her. Today, I am joined by Dr. Jennifer Batamuliza. Make sure to say the doctor because she's worked hard for it. She's a data scientist. She's a lecturer and one of the lead trainers for the African Girls Can Code initiative. Now, this is not just anyone doing anything, because she's making sure that young ladies, young women know that they can get into programming, AI, cybersecurity, and plenty more. Dr. Jennifer, it is my pleasure to welcome you onto here.
Pleasure having me here.
Now, let's start from the beginning. Where did it all start? What sparked the want or the curiosity to be in tech?
So thank you. So being in tech, it didn't just start 5 years ago or 2 years ago. It was a long journey. So how it started, I know when I was joining my advanced level, I said I want to do math and physics, and people are like, math and physics is not for women. Are you really going to make it? I'm like, yes, I will make it. So I did math and physics in high school. And the reason why I did math and physics is because I wanted to be a computer engineer. And I was told that for you to be a computer engineer, you need to understand mathematics and physics.
So what planted the seed? Where did it start? You went math and physics. You know, usually people will be like, geography, history, literature. What sparked it? What did you see? What did you experience? And you're like, you know what? Computer engineering is the one for me.
Okay, so at first I saw a computer. I think that's where my interest was.
When was this?
This was in 2000. That's when I joined my high school in senior one. And I remember going to the school, and then I saw the computer, and this was my first time to see a computer. Your
first interaction with a computer was 2000?
It was 2000. Wow. So I saw the computer, and I was like, how do people use this? Like, for me, it looked magic somehow. So I was like, what does it take maybe to be a computer person? And then I met some people. I can say now I call them my role models. I met one of their friends, and she was already pursuing computer courses at the university. And then she was like, yeah, we are doing computer engineering, and you can start with math and physics. So I was told for me to be a good computer engineer, I need to study math. I need to understand math and physics.
And what was your parents' reaction to this? Because, you know, usually they're like, I say, umukobga, young lady going into tech. What's going on here?
So, to be honest, I was born to parents who have been refugees, and they just had very basic education. So they couldn't guide me because they didn't know about science. They didn't know about history, about all these things. So for sure, I didn't get any guidance from my parents. I just told them I'm going to do this, and they're like, okay, go do it.
So you're telling me your background, you come from parents who obviously have a very basic education. They don't know much about tech. And you're like, you know what, mom, dad, I'm going to do math, physics. I want to be a computer engineer. Now, imagine we're talking about Her in a Million. This is a space where we're trying to make sure that a young lady knows that despite your background, where you come from, what you know, what you don't know, this is a space that you can enter. Imagine that this was something, this platform existed during your time. How do you think that would have changed your experience?
I wish this platform existed when I was still young. because this I can see that it opens up young people's mind, and they can see what is there, and they even have some people who are role models to them.
Exactly.
So I wish this was there, because during my time we didn't get any guidance, and I see it as a great opportunity for the young people, because it helps these young girls make them understand that they can have that confidence and
Absolutely.
pursue coding, and it also boosts their curiosity and all that. So I wish this platform was there, because I can see now it's going to bring a very big change, and I can see that in the next 5 years, I think we're going to bridge the gender digital gap.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. Now, you're talking about starting at a foundation where at the time in the 2000s, in the early 2000s, even now that we're still bridging that gap, I can imagine the numbers were much less then. Now, for a young lady now, obviously you have so many opportunities around you. We live in a digital age, so obviously information is at your fingertips. So for a young lady who's hearing you now and she's like, okay, she said math and physics, but then I may not be as good as math and physics. What is a good starting point? What is the best place to take that first step?
Okay, so I can say that for people to be best coders, they really don't have to be very good in mathematics or physics. But then again, tech is wider. It has different, I can say they can decide to take a different path. Like maybe like designer, they can be user interface designers or user experience designers. They do design thinking. And nowadays it's even easier. They can build websites and all that without even knowing how to really code.
Exactly.
So that's why I say that yes, mathematics and physics helped me, but then nowadays it's even easier, and they don't need those skills for them to thrive in
this space.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of skills, you are one of the lead trainers of the African Girls Can Code initiative. First of all, let's first break it down. What is the African Girls Can Code initiative to anyone, especially a young lady out there who might be looking for an opportunity in this moment? What is this initiative? Where did it start? What's the vision with it?
Okay, so African Girls Can Code initiative is a Pan-African initiative, and this was started by African Union, but then it's being implemented by the UN Women, partnering with different governments in different countries. So it exists in many countries, and Rwanda is one of the countries that is lucky to have the African Girls Can Code initiative. So the initial training started in 2022, and then 2023, there was a first phase of African Girls Can Code, and then 24, there was another one, the second one, and then now we recently had the third one, African Girls Can Code initiative. So it's implemented by the UN Women in Rwanda, and partnering with the government, such as Ministry of ICT, Ministry of Education, Ministry of Gender and Family Promotion. They all come together, and other partners such as I&M, ITU, and many other organizations, even non-profit organizations such as GIZ. They all come together to implement this. And this benefits girls. I can say girls between the age of 11 and 19.
Fantastic.
Because we've had girls different ages. For the first one, we had girls who were between 16, 19. And then for the second phase, we had girls who were between 14 and 16. And then now this year, we had girls who were between 12 and 15.
So the future is actually looking bright, because the more you say 11, 19, I'm like, wow, if they're getting into this early, then surely this gap is going to be closed much sooner than we think. Now, when you talk about this initiative, what are the courses that are available? And also, and I think one important aspect that we have to tackle as well is the accessibility of it. As we're trying to create space for more women to enter the space, we also have to acknowledge the fact that there are many who are in underserved communities and sometimes often feel left out of these developments and these initiatives. How does African Girls Can Code offer these courses and make sure that even those that feel that they're underserved and they're on the outskirts are also brought in?
That's a good question. The African Girls Can Code initiative, it's a big initiative that includes everyone. It includes girls from all different districts of the country. So like each district is represented by some girls.
Wow.
And the selection criteria, they don't look at, there is no any discrimination. So whoever fulfills the criteria, they're admitted. So African Girls Can Code initiative, I see it's a very inclusive initiative because it reaches all parts of the country. And about coming back to the content, like what is being taught, its main objective is to like boost the curiosity of the girls, or to sparkle the curiosity so that they can even know about tech and see how tech is really good and how tech can take them far. So we teach them different courses. So here I can talk of coding courses. There is engineering, which brings in the part of design, and also about electronics, where they deal with working with circuits and connecting different devices. And then at the end they solve a problem. So it's a combination. It's about coding, it's about engineering, design, and also it goes beyond, and even bringing in that gender course. And the gender course help the girls understand their role in digital economy.
I love that.
Yeah, so it opens up their eyes or their minds so that they can grab the opportunities.
And I think it's wonderful that in addition to you equipping them with all of these skills and piquing that curiosity, but also exploring the gender aspect of it. Because at the end of the day, we cannot refute the fact that there is a huge divide when it comes to women in the space. Now, let's talk about your experience as well, right? I think experience is the best teacher overall, and it's inspiring for these young women when they see you as one of their lead teachers and looking at a woman in this space. Fantastic work, first and foremost. So now tell me, how did you get into AI, cybersecurity? Because when you think of cybersecurity is one of those components that people often forget to think about. When people think of the digital age, they think about creating applications, software, whatever. But cybersecurity is not something that is as discussed. How did you pick that niche?
Okay, so in my bachelor, I did computer engineering and information technology. And then afterwards, when I was about to start my master's, I had to go to books and do some basic research to see what is now trending, what's the hot topic in tech field. Because as you know, tech is very wide. It's very wide. Like you can decide to go with cybersecurity, you can decide to go with artificial intelligence, you can just decide to be a web developer. You can go the pathway of software engineering. It's a broad area. I hope we will also have time to talk about that. So when I was joining masters, I was like, why don't I look at the trending, the hot topics in tech? So from there, guided by also my supervisor, I was like, why don't you go the cybersecurity pathway? So that's how I started, and then I went deep into cybersecurity. And it's also broader. I did network security. I also did some cryptography and also ethical hacking.
Whoa.
And
ethical hacking.
So I can say for ethical hacking, this is a very simple course, and I think any student, they really don't need some basic skills to learn about how to hack ethically. And usually on holidays, through different organizations, I train girls how to hack.
Come on.
Yes, different using different applications.
I love that component of training because it's essentially like mentorship, which is also what spaces like Her in a Million are trying to do, to create a community so that in as much as we're trying to bridge the gap and make sure that young women across the board know that there's space for them, but also building a community for them to know that they're not alone. Talk about that component. What has building a community as a woman in tech been like for you?
For me, I think even it comes out of passion. I saw the way where I passed and some challenges that I faced. I was like, I really need to show the girls the path. Like, they don't need to struggle like me, because I didn't have anyone to show me the way.
Yes.
But now I need to clear the path for them. So that's how I started. And
Clear
then,
the path. That's so beautiful.
yeah, and then I started bringing people together, building that community so that young girls can come in, they meet mentors, they meet with different people from the industry, people from academia and all that, and they can share best practices in tech. So that's how we started with building community. But then again, it doesn't end there, because we also have some clubs and helping young girls at different schools to form clubs. And
Talk about that, because you might be inspiring a young lady right now to start a club right where she is. It doesn't matter what you have, where you are. You don't have to be the smartest, the most qualified. Talk about that component, because I think when we look at spaces at Her in a Million, it's one thing to create the space, but it's also another thing to explore how it will be used, how you use that opportunity and make sure, like you said, you clear the path for those that are coming after you. So how would you advise a young woman right now, hearing you right now, and she's like, okay, I want the mentorship, but I also want to create that community. How do I make sure that Her in a Million becomes Her in 100? Then we're just overpopulating the market.
I think this is good, especially when we offer those different trainings to one girl. They will also create that ripple effect, and they will also reach other girls in their community or even at their school. And usually we tell girls that they are able, like, starting a club is not like a rocket science. It's just about thinking about it and then having that passion to also help other people become like you. And you share the very less knowledge, even if you have you don't have to be an expert. And then you form the club at school or in your community, and then afterwards you bring people together and then you start sharing. You don't have to be an expert. You just need to be brave to start it.
I love that. Now, another component to this is the accessibility. We cannot deny that there's a number of young women in the rural areas who are in these underserved communities who often feel too timid within themselves to even try and start such an initiative, or even feel like they have the capability, the power, or the prowess to even start an initiative like that. So when you're looking at a young Rwandan woman in the rural, I feel like we have to look at the ones who are also here, because we have to complement one another, right? Obviously, the person in the city is going to have more exposure, more accessibility to different things and connections that someone in the rural wouldn't. How can we bridge that gap with those of us who are currently in a position of privilege, if I can call it that, to inspire or, help those who are not in the same position as we are?
So I think this all starts from schools, because at school people will meet and they come from different places. Others will come from cities, others will come from those remote areas. And when they come together, they're studying together, then they start sharing the knowledge. So I think it's really great to start from the schools, where all those people come together. It's a diverse environment, and then afterwards they start working together, and that's where the club comes in. They form the club, and then afterwards now they start sharing the knowledge. And again, another thing, I would say that at school there are different resources, of course, for them to learn. Learning digital skills is one thing, but then they also need to have the access to digital devices. And in most schools in Rwanda, because you see how Rwanda is really
we're trying or pushing,
very fast. So you see that different schools, even in rural areas, they have even smart classrooms. They have these laptops, so they have computer rooms. So these students can share knowledge where they are. Like, they don't need to wait for the teacher to...
Absolutely.
Yes, so I think that's best practice. But then another thing is about meeting these people at different places. So
Yes.
I know with one of the organization I belong to, we move, we go to different communities. And again, you see with Ministry of ICT and Innovation, they have this hunger
Pitch Fest,
hubs
yes.
and hunger hubs in different districts. So all these are great places where these communities can meet and then they learn more about digital skills and share.
Now, we've talked about the school component, but let's also talk about the family aspect. Yes? Because in African society, yes, our parents want us to be doctors, lawyer, engineer. But now when you think of a woman in tech or like engineering a motherboard or something, they're like, what's going on? So even you as a parent, how do you look at campaigns like Her in a Million, and how do you encourage other parents, especially in our society, to be open-minded about the different career paths that open when a young woman is given the space to explore tech?
So what I can say here is that the parents, they have the key. They can open the opportunities for their girls, or they can also close
Ooh.
the opportunity for the girls. So with the help of the parents, because the kids get to see the parents before they even know
Go
about
to
the
school,
teachers, go to school. So at the household, at home, how do you make the girls feel like they can also, you know, you find some parents are like, even it starts with the toys. When they're buying toys, they're like, let me buy for my boy a car. And, you know, they can start to engineer
A
it.
toolbox, what?
They can open it to see how it is and try to, you know, this is tech. And you find for the girls, or they just have their dolls, you know, it's like there is that bias that can start at home. So what we can tell parents is that the parents are the ones to, like, they're the first people to sparkle the interest of their kids about tech. And secondly, they're the ones to help the kids gain the confidence. They gain the confidence, telling them they can, they become their cheerleader and all that. Another thing is about parents, like if they are able to, they give access to devices if they can. So here I'm talking about the laptops, they can be access to internet and all that, starting at a younger age. So with this, when the kid is exposed to all these digital devices, it helps them to gain that confidence even when they grow up and go to school.
Absolutely.
So I can say the role of the parent is to boost or sparkle the interest of their kid, and then give the kid the best environment where they can do whatever they want to explore
Absolutely.
more about tech.
Now, if you tell a Rwandan and African parent to buy someone devices, they'll start bringing up excuses. Oh, you want to do your homework, you'll always be on that phone, you always do this and do that. Outside of the social and societal nuances around this, if you're to enter, for example, a circle of mothers that are discussing Her in a Million, and they're like, I don't understand why you would want your daughter to be in tech, this, that, and the other, and you're hearing a lot of this is, a lot of cultural nuances, what would you tell them that would change their mind?
So for those parents, I think first of all, it's also get to change their mindset, because most of them, when they hear about tech, it's like they hear bad things about tech. It's like they just get to know the bad part of it,
Yes.
and they don't talk about the good part of it. So if I get a chance to interact with those women, I'll tell them about how now the world is driven by tech, and for many young people to thrive in tech, like they need some skills and they need support from them. So I would ask them to support their kids however they can. Like they can connect them with other people.
Absolutely.
I know in my village where I live, many parents, they know that I'm a tech person, so they would come to me. Can you talk to our girls? So I'll talk to them, and So if a parent try to be part of the journey of their kids, it makes it even more easier. And then also I will tell them about the Her in a Million, tell them about the opportunities they give to girls, these digital online courses. And you see many parents, like now, that in Rwanda, many people have access to devices internet. Like if you check the statistics, it's really amazing. Especially for Rwanda, we have higher coverage of internet in different places. So even the parent can also give the phone, but of course with supervision.
Limits, yes.
And they can do some courses online, those small courses, or they can watch some of the videos which are related to
Yes.
tech and all that. So I'll just try to ask the parents. Some parents need to also have a changed mindset.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like that. I love that a lot. Now, speaking of these courses, as you said, the internet has become one of those places where without leaving your house, you can get an education, you can get a lot done strictly by using the digital space, the tech space. What are some of the platforms that you advocate for young women to get to know, or maybe to even pique their curiosity about entering the tech space?
Okay, so here, even I start with African Girls Can Code initiative. So this is one of them, and it really helps many girls to get that knowledge in tech, and now they can now continue with that field and they can thrive in tech field. And I can also talk about the girls in ICT. I can talk about many different, we have like the tech venture, we have girls in code, we have the She Can Code, we have very many initiatives that help young people, and most of them, they really help them during the holidays. So having those kids join all these different initiatives, that's a good one. And then secondly, it's about having access to those devices with internet, of course, if possible, and then they can go to internet, they can try to search for free courses, either Coursera courses, Udemy courses, and many other courses. And we have many free courses online, so they can do that. And I believe this is possible, like as long as they have the digital device, which is connected to internet, and then they can also have the text editors used.
Yes.
And we even have very simple text editors that these young people can use. Even starting with Scratch, I think you've heard about Scratch.
Yes.
It's
But
very
you have to break it down because someone out here might not know what Scratch is and you're pulling out some technological terms. So explain it to us because we're here to make sure that the ladies are informed.
Okay, let's start. So I can say that the girls are at different levels. Yeah, we have girls who are just about to start tech journey, and then we have those who are already in the journey, and then we have those who feel like they're experts.
They're there.
Yes. So starting with the young people, I can say we have some very simple applications. So I was talking about Scratch. It's an MIT app, and it's free. They just need to download it to the device they're using, and then afterwards they start coding. For coding, they write codes. And for young people, there is a way of making coding fun and user-friendly. So there they use some blocks, like if you want to loop, like instead of writing a code to loop, they just pick a block that says maybe loop forever or, So they will just use the blocks. So it's just blocks they put together, and with those blocks, they get to create something. So they can solve a problem.
Wow.
They can create a game. They can do animation and all that. So it's very easy because I know we've been teaching young people who are even young, very young children. I started teaching my kids when they were 5.
Wow.
Using Scratch.
Well, I feel like your daughter might be able to hack by now.
Yes, and with this Scratch, even when programming the robots, they use these codes, Scratch codes. And you can program it to move, going in front, coming back, doing it, repeating what it's doing, and all that. They can make games. So those are just easy applications that are user-friendly for young people. And with those applications, it can sparkle their interest or curiosity. And then afterwards, now they can start using more advanced
fantastic.
Text editors. They can, if they are advanced a little bit, they can use text editors such as VS Code to Code. They can use.
So all I'm hearing is actually the first thing you have to have is the curiosity, because the spaces, the tools are there. Now, with the tools being there, we live in a digital space, and of course one of the greatest barriers that we face in Rwanda majority of the time is usually accessibility. But outside of that, what other barriers do you think young women are facing, and what can spaces like Her in a Million do to contribute to make sure that they're more comfortable, more safe, and more, being safe to have that curiosity to enter the space?
Okay, so first of all, I'll talk about these stereotypes and culture norms, whereby they feel like, oh, girls, maybe they're just there to do simple things. They can't do tech. It's very hard. All that thinking.
It's too hard work
Yes,
for a
and then
woman.
there are just biases and, so this is one thing, and I find it as a very hard challenge, and many girls face that. So even I remember, even myself, when I was like, I want to be a computer engineer, and then people are like, no, you can't manage. And even if you manage to study that computer, people will not hire you because it's a male-dominated field, and they feel like women are not that good in that. So I
Yes.
remember those are some of the stereotypes. So that's one thing. Secondly, it's about like some kids don't have mentors, or I can say role models. So they don't know someone else who has walked the journey. So they need someone to tell them, I did it. I was just like you.
And you can do it.
Yeah, and you can also do it. Like, you're very capable. You just need to boost your confidence. Look, you don't have to start as an expert. You can just start as...
No one starts as an expert.
I mean, if you wait to start as an expert, then you will not start.
You'll be waiting forever.
All these successful people, they just started. So just start. So those role models and mentors, they can guide young people, and you find many places there is lack of mentorship. And once I did some research, and I found that this one is also, it's like very key. And if this one is, if
it's addressed,
something can be done,
yes.
and then they have a pool of mentors, and those mentors are connected to the young people, so this one can help. You said access. Of course, they need to have that access to all that, as you said, access to devices, access to internet, and also having the skills. And having the skills, they can watch on YouTube, they can attend all these different initiatives, clubs, and all that, and then they can have the skills.
The curiosity.
That's another challenge. So another challenge is that maybe in curriculum they need to embed more, like they need to put more of these coding courses, so that all the students experience that at a very young age. And then when they grow up, at least they build their confidence, but at least they have basic skills at the beginning.
Absolutely.
So I think those are some of
the barriers.
But there are many. So.
And one of the points I want us to come back to is the aspect of mentorship. Because with mentorship, a lot of the times, when we say experience is the best teacher, it's because you're living through someone's lens and you're using the experience to learn about how you can be better. So you in this space now, you're no longer part of the people who need to learn. You're part of the mentors, you're part of the teachers. You're essentially shaping the space to be more comfortable. How would you urge other women, more seasoned in the IT space, in the tech space like you are right now, to be part of Her in a Million, to make sure that we're connecting young women, not just to opportunity, but to guidance? Because I think one of the fears that young women have, yes, I can start and get the skills, but it would be great to have a soundboard. It would be great to have a guiding hand. Same way in university, you have like a guidance counselor and all of that. How would you encourage other women in the same, not necessarily, they don't have to be in the same field as you, but within the tech space as well, to be part of Her in a Million, so we can actually have this community of women who are mentoring young women, so that they know, okay, it's one thing to enter the space, but I'm also looking at this person. I'm looking at Dr. Julian, Dr. Jennifer. I can call Dr. Jennifer and say, hey, Dr. Jennifer, this is what I think. Can you connect me to somebody else? Because even outside of mentorship, when you build this community, you're also building a network, such that if one of your mentees, for example, finishes a program and maybe perhaps I'm in a position to help her, how do we build that community?
Okay, so first I think people need to know that they have something to contribute. Like, even if you feel like you have nothing to contribute, usually everyone has something to contribute. And you could be having some skills, maybe tech is wide. You could be having skills in networking, in software engineering, in cybersecurity, in AI and all that. But you can pass the same knowledge. So I can start with myself, how I started. And I started joining different initiatives. And after that, I started mentoring many girls. And after mentoring them, I can assure you, even right now, my mentees are the ones now who are mentoring other
Beautiful.
mentees. So that's the ripple effect. Like passing the knowledge, like I train one or I mentor one and they mentor 10.
Another.
And yeah, we keep
So on
doing
and so
that.
forth.
So maybe I could add, like, of course, for the women who already have some knowledge in tech, to make sure at least they are also mentoring one or two girls. And,
Yes.
and if we keep passing this, then it will reach many women. So everyone needs to be part of the Her in a Million,
Everybody.
owning it and feeling like they have to contribute to the community. And another thing, they can start as individuals, but they can also build a community, as you said, or start a club. You can initiate a club at different schools.
Yes.
I initiated one of the clubs in one of the schools, and I can see it working, and I feel I'm so proud about
Yes.
it. So, and I feel like this can be done by anyone as long as you also have this. And then it's not just about telling them about all this tech and all that. Also talking to them about confidence, because again, you
talk
could
about
tell them the skills and all
Talk
that, but then
about it.
if they lack the confidence, then
in themselves.
they will not even pass that knowledge to other people. So I think we can start small, and all of us, we can
Starts
be part.
with sharing your knowledge.
Yeah, sharing
100%.
So we can all be part of the Her in a Million.
Now we keep saying Her in a Million, and some people might think we're just talking to the ladies, but it's all of us. We're also talking to the men, right? Because men have to be our allies in this cause, right?
True.
So I imagine, I'm guessing, this is a wild guess, I imagine that in your work, you work with a lot of men. Yes?
Exactly.
How have you been able to enter those spaces and feel comfortable knowing, this is the confidence aspect that we're talking about? How do you enter these spaces that still are male dominated, but you bring your seat to the table, you have your say, and clearly people listen?
I love that question. So talking about my journey, like everywhere I've been working, like I've been in those male-dominated areas. I remember when I was doing my bachelor degree, maybe we were about 6 or 7 girls out of 60 the class.
Wow.
And when I was doing masters in this software engineering, we were 2 women out of all.
2 women.
Only 2.
Wow.
And we had a class of more than 60. And when I was doing PhD, the same. So,
ladies, we got to step it up.
yeah, and then when I started teaching, I would find myself like in the whole department, the whole faculty actually. I see 1 woman, or we are 2. And I remember I was once a head of department, heading the department of software engineering. So you can imagine, I was leading male. There were very many. There was only one lady. Others were all male. So I was heading the department. Why? Because of that confidence and even showing what you know. And even I can talk of where I'm working at the University of Rwanda. In my department, we are just 2
women.
So I've been in all these spaces, and it feels so lonely.
So you really actually do feel like Her in a Million.
Yeah. And then when I was talking to other people, other friends, they were saying the same, like they are all in this male-dominated field, and they feel so lonely because, sometimes it's not like that you're working all the time.
Yes.
You also need to talk about hairstyle, where do you go to, and all that. So
you need to have the human
you
aspect
feel
of it. Yes.
And that's how we came to start a non-profit organization, which is called Rwandan Association for Women in Science and Engineering. I think you've heard of RAWIS.
Yes.
I'm the vice president of RAWIS. It has members, more than 200.
Wow.
And they all did masters, PhD, postdoc in STEM. So
wow.
we have all these Department of Technology, of Science, and all that. And our mission is going to schools, secondary schools, and talk to girls and make them join the
So
field.
can you challenge all those women to join her in a million? Just a
All
challenge.
those girls, all those girls, for sure, they are all STEM women. I
Wow.
can't say maybe they are in technology, like they are experts in technology like me, but then they all use technology in
On a
their different
day-to-day.
fields. So I will challenge them. They have to be part of one in a million.
They have to.
So talking about that association, we said let's come together and be together in a space where we are very much confident, and at least we socialize a bit because we are all working in.
You've built a community, yes.
And then we built the community, more than 200 people.
Wow.
You see, those are the things that we can do. I can do it, you can do it, another person can do it. You build that community, and then you fight those stereotypes and all those.
I love it. And you know, one of the most wholesome things is seeing the joy as you talk about it, because it's very refreshing to hear about someone overcoming such obstacles, but doing so that you're making it easier for those of them that are coming after you. So now, as we're winding down, you've talked about the African Girls Can Code initiative. You've talked about building community and all the different ways that you mentor. For any young lady, any woman right now listening, and she wants to tap into it immediately, what is the best way or the best place for her to start?
So the best place for her to start, I can say, it's by approaching different people. I know at least wherever you are, you could just approach one person.
Networking, yes.
Yes, you network and ask them about tech and all that. And secondly, they can go to internet, because I know nowadays even these young people, wherever they are,
They're
have
connected.
access to internet. So just going there and then trying to check what are the careers in tech. I mean, for me to be a software engineering, what are the courses? What courses am I supposed to do? And depending on my level, can I start from this stage or this stage? So consulting the Google, going to YouTube, we have different, and then afterwards they can now start doing some practical things themselves, just as simple as creating a YouTube channel and many other small things. And then afterwards, now they start diving deep into
what
coding.
you want to do.
But that could be the starting point, and also joining clubs if they live or they're studying where there are clubs, like tech clubs, and if there are these communities, if they can see Hunger Hub next to them, they can go there and they can learn about that. And then another one is about the 1 million coders. They can join that community. They can do the courses, and this will boost their skills.
Absolutely.
And make them even more confident.
We've talked about the building communities. We've talked about the mentorship aspect. Let's talk about the practicality. There's a young lady right now who's watching, and she's like, I want to tap in now. What are the opportunities available for me? Where can I start? Where can I go?
Okay, so there I can say that they need to approach these, of course, these different initiatives if they can. That is the African Girls Can Code initiatives, the 1 million coders, these girls in tech, she can code and all that. And there they can get to learn more skills and even network with people who are very resourceful to them. And then also they can get people who can guide them towards their career. And one thing I can say, they can also explore the courses deeply. Like there are courses that they need to study. If you want to be a cybersecurity expert, for example, cybersecurity engineer, you need to start with these courses. You need to start with cyber security courses, ethical hacking courses. If you need to be a software developer, so you can be a back end, you can be front end, but then for you to be that, you need to start with web development. And if you are at the basic stage, you can start with JavaScript, HTML, CSS, and PHP. This one is very easier, and many people, it's easier to learn through all these different online courses. And if they learn those courses, afterwards they will dive deep into Java programming. it will end in a career such as a front-end engineer or a back-end engineer. And then for, let's say for software engineering, we have some software courses, and we also have database, like, of course, for you to make an application or for you to make that web application or mobile application, you need to do those courses. And then afterwards, you learn database, and then you will connect like your website or your mobile, you will connect it to the database.
Wow.
So those are basic skills, I can say. And with those skills now, someone will become that web developer. And if someone doesn't want to dive very deep into coding, they can also do the UI UX, where they will learn about design thinking.
Yes, user experience.
Yes, and with that, someone can become a user experience researcher. They can become a user interface engineer. So those are some of the careers. So tech is very wide, as I started saying. They can be cloud engineer.
So as you say, it's a wide space. What are some good questions a young person can ask themselves when they take these basic skills and now they're trying to explore what path do I want to follow now? What are some questions you may have asked yourself that helped you narrow down and say, you know what, maybe I'm interested in this. Is this something that I can do? What are some questions to ask yourself when trying to narrow down the path you want to now take? Am I going to be in artificial intelligence? Am I going to be in cybersecurity? How should the thinking process look like?
So for me, now I'm in AI, cybersecurity and AI. So now I started by thinking, yes, I want to be an AI engineer. I want to be a data scientist. So for me to become a data scientist, where do I start? Because I can't say I want to be a data scientist or an AI person and I'm not thinking about Python. I'm not thinking about machine learning and all that. So I first asked myself that, and then I was like, for me to get there, what are the skills? Which skills do I need? And then I had to break it down. I was like, okay, to become an AI person, I need to study Python programming. I start with basics, and then I keep going higher and higher, and then I do machine learning, and I get there. And then if I want to be a data analyst, for example, or a business analyst, where do I start?
Where does it start?
Okay, I will start with simple Excel, and I get to learn how I can play with data in Excel sheet. And then afterwards, I get advanced. I say, now I'm going to use Power BI, and I keep going. So I have to study data analytics for me to be that. So I think it's about knowing what I want to become, and then you see what are the skills that will help me get there. So, and afterwards, thinking about who is going to help me. I mean, what are the resources? What are the tools? What tools do I need? And then after knowing I need these tools, and then, I start from there.
Fantastic. So we've heard about the opportunities. Now, as we wind down, you've heard about the different opportunities that we have. She can code, African girls can code, 1 million coders. There's a lot of opportunity. Now, I want you to plant a seed of curiosity. As we wind down, there's 2 messages I want you to deliver. The first one is to the parents. I think Her in a Million is about creating a space for young women and women at large to feel comfortable entering the tech space. But also, we have to start at the grassroots, where people usually spend a lot of time, which is with your family, for the most part at least. So what is the message you'd have for parents, especially, when it comes to girls and their mothers? They're very close. Your mother's word usually carries so much weight. How can you encourage mothers to tap into Her in a Million, to learn about it as well for them, and also to be able to encourage their daughters, their sisters, their cousins, all the women around them?
Yeah, so one thing I would tell parents is that we still have a gap in tech field. And as we can see, the country is much accelerating towards the digital future. And everyone needs to be part of it. And there are many opportunities for young people who enter the tech space.
Absolutely.
And they will contribute to the digital economy. So to parents, what parents can do is, first of all, understanding that. And understanding that for us to have all these people at the top, it just starts down there. So we have what we call a leaky pipeline. When starting, you'll see, the number is big for the girls. And as we keep going up, like I'm looking at it like from that academic angle, I see that we start with those kids who are doing tech, they are very good at it. And then now you go to secondary, the number reduces. And then when you go to the university, it reduces more. And then now when you go to workplace, now it's even worse.
Wow.
So we call it the leaky pipeline. So we want parents to help their girls to start, get into the pipeline, I can say, stay in there, and they keep advancing their knowledge and retaining them there. So what I would tell parents is, first of all, creating that safe environment for the girls.
Yes.
Giving them an environment with no biases, and also boosting the confidence of their girls, telling them, they can. Anything they can do it just the same as boys. So for parents, boosting the confidence of their
daughters,
people,
yes.
giving them this space where they can start, they can thrive, and also giving them access to devices. Because when we talk about digital skills, we won't leave behind digital devices. So they will go hand in hand. If they are able to afford it, or if they can have access to free spaces where their kids can use the digital equipment, then they can take them, and then they start interacting with those. And then also tapping into these skills of 1 million coders. I know now people all over the country can access that.
Yes.
So help them have access to
initiatives like that. Yes.
And then they learn the courses, they get to have the confidence, they get the mentorship and all that. And also, cheering up their girls.
Yes.
Like whatever small milestones, they cheer them up. So I think this is what I can tell to all parents, and if they do that, then their kids are going to thrive in that.
Now let's get to the young ladies. You've talked about building your confidence to enter the space. You've talked about the different initiatives and ways that they can enter the space. I want you to plant a seed of hope in our young women, to know that spaces like Her in a Million are here to build a community. Like, for example, they're seeing your face now. You're someone that if you bump into her in the corridors of University of Rwanda, this is someone you can stop for advice. So I want you to plant that seed of hope and let them know to tap into spaces like this, to tap into the industry, because there is space for them, there's money to be made, and there's a lot of innovations that are yet to be discovered.
Yes, to the young people, and those young people who are our future leaders in tech field. For you to be there, it starts now. It doesn't start tomorrow. So start it now, and as I've said, like from the beginning, you don't have to be experts for you to start working on that problem that solves the community issues. You have to start now, and you have all what it takes. You just need to build your confidence, and then having the skills, and with that, it will get you higher. So this is the message I can tell the girls. And another thing, I can give you different examples. I've seen many girls, and even here in Rwanda, who are working for millions.
Yep.
They're working on for companies in the US and in all these other different continents, because for tech you don't need to be there physically, so you can tap into all these opportunities. So I can give you examples of many girls in different countries, in Kenya, Rwanda, Uganda. You find there are many girls who are now working for big tech industries out there, and they're working remotely. They just need the digital device. If you have your own laptop, you have access to internet. Now you can start working for all those big companies, and you get money, and you become very independent with your own money. So what I can tell you, just have that confidence. Don't think there is someone who is better than you. You're very good, and you can still build your skills continuously, updating your knowledge, doing short courses for weeks. You can do all these certifications. You can access free courses. Some of the courses, Coursera courses, Harvard, they have some courses which are free, MIT, and all this, you'll find it on internet. So I can tell you girls that you really have many opportunities. You just need to tap into them. And you are lucky because you're even exposed to different initiatives that we weren't exposed to when we were at your age. So here we are talking about Her in a Million, talking about 1 million coders, talking about African girls can code, talking about She Can Code. All these opportunities are there for you. It's just about you to explore all those, and then you get to have the knowledge that you need, and then you thrive out here. And I can say that you need to have confidence. That's one thing that will help you reach where you want to be, because you are the next, or you're the future tech leaders, and you have all what it takes. Yeah.
I wouldn't think of a better place to close this out. Dr. Jennifer, what a journey. First and foremost, allow me to give you your flowers and recognize the effort that you put into inspiring young women. Thank you for giving us your time. Thank you for sharing your expertise here and in all the different initiatives that you engage in. I hope that you young ladies, if there's one thing you learned today, outside of the fact that there is space for you in the tech space, is that you also have to be part of changing the narrative. If you've learned something, share that knowledge. Share it with the people around you. Start a club. It could start with 3 of you. Listen, change is one of those. It just takes one bold step. And you've heard her. Her whole journey is her taking a bold step from coming from a background that has no knowledge about tech, and you just have the confidence of this is what you want to be. You just have to go for it. Her in a Million is here to support you, is here to encourage you. These are stories and lived experiences that we want you to use as a backbone and as a source of encouragement, because we want to make sure that Her in a Million becomes Her in 1,000, Her in 100, until we know that that gap is fully closed. We'll be back next time with many more impactful stories for you right here with Her in a Million. Thank you.